All right, should be recording. So, yeah, as it mostly says right here. So a new deep dive video was released as part of the Future Games Show Summer Showcase 2025, which is the rest of the title that I'm kind of blocking. Yeah, deep dive. It's 3 minutes long, but still is. I kind of want to take a look at this because I do care about Titan Quest 2. Really enjoyed the first game. I will admit, it has been a while since I last played it. I've just been busy with other things, but still, I want to have a look at this, and hopefully YouTube doesn't. Well, YouTube through OBS doesn't cause some weirdness. It was a little bit ago, just trying to get things lined up. But in any case, turn that on. Yes, I'm sorry. I will still be down here in the corner. Maybe I'll turn myself off. We'll see. All right. So yes, as I said, at the Future Games Show, and in fact, exit full screen. It is on the FGS account. I got no idea on what videos it's recommending, by the way, because this is just an OBS. It's not like it has cookies or anything. And I'm certainly not logged in or anything like that. So let's just get going. It is at 1080p 60. Here, let me fix it so that way it won't try to change it. I did not watch the show otherwise, by the way.
Tell us about hope.
Titan Quest 2 is kind of your Diablo-esque action RPG, but it's set in ancient Greek mythology. You really can immerse yourself in what you associate Greece with. You'll be fighting these mythological monsters, some of which we came up with ourselves, some of which are from Titan Quest 1. Greek.
I just feel like interrupting, in part because I don't want any kind of flags for not. I don't know how much they made up in Titan Quest 1. Different people, different company, because it's been so many years since that originally came out. But I do enjoy my Greco-Roman mythology. The idea of adding creatures to it doesn't actually bother me that much, though. I see it enough as just stories, so trying to tell a new story and adding creatures to it, so long as it's aligned with it. If they start throwing in mechs or something, then I'd have an issue with it. But if it's just new chimeric type creatures, I don't care. That'll be fine. And as I recall, because so far we've just seen the cinematics here, the goddess you're fighting is named Nemesis. I'm hoping I'm remembering. It's been a while since I've read that. I think they actually haven't always been stating that in the press releases either. But in any case, that you are a Spartan. This is actually Sparta that has been attacked. It's not complete. Well, obviously it's not going to be completely historically accurate, but it's something like you are investigating why it is that the Spartans seem to have just lost their interest in war. I think was part of it. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game, but in any case, let's I'll back this up some. I don't want to do a 10-second skip back, so just there. Yeah, so you're going to be facing Nemesis,
which we came up with ourselves, some of which are from Titan Quest 1. Greek mythology also has become very much part of pop culture in the last 2 decades.
Greek mythology has been part of Western culture since ancient Greece. I'm sorry, it's just since pop culture. I mean, it's been part of popular culture for a very long time. So, I'm just trying to think what are some other. I feel like even Diablo may have some, but that might be more European, more Germanic mythology that's influencing there, and also some Christian mythology as well. Diablo. Yeah.
Other games have had great success with this, and we thought that we have this great IP on our hands. Why not use it?
Okay, hang on. I need to hear him say that all again, because he may have just said something that's very actually scaring me.
Other games have had great monsters, some of which we came up with ourselves, some of which are from Titan Quest 1. Greek mythology also has become very much part of pop culture in the last 2 decades. Some other games have had great success with this, and we thought that we have this great IP on our hands. Why not use it?
Okay, yeah, that scares me a lot. Because that doesn't sound like hey, we want to make a new Titan Quest game. That sounds like, hey, other people are having success in this kind of setting, this kind of world. Why don't we try to do our own take? Hey, Titan Quest already exists. We have access to that. We'll just do that. That scares me so much. Because what that's saying to me, and it's very possible he's just not saying it very well, but it still is what that statement just taken is that. I don't know further context. As I said, may just not be verbalizing what the plan is very well. But that sounds more to me like we just don't want to try telling something completely new. We just want to do our own thing. We're attaching it to this because that may help. Don't do that. I mean, that's... It's more relevant on a different channel where I talk about writing. But I'll just say it here because it is kind of the same idea. I have a dislike for fan fiction. And the reason why is this. If you have an idea for something that you think is good, make it your own. Don't attach it to somebody else's work. Don't attach it to somebody else's IP. Because if it is good, you want it to be yours, not in any way connected to somebody else. Obviously, if you have a license, that's different. Technically, you would have a license. But it still is that whole, if it is your story, the thing you want to be doing, the thing you want to be telling, make it yours. This sounds like yes, it's what we want to be doing, it's a story we want to be telling, but we're not making it ours, we're going to take from somebody else, which means, I don't like that because you're potentially damaging that other thing, because if you're not taking that seriously, you're not treating it with the respect and care that it deserves, and to be treated with that, with sincerity as well. There's another thought that I had, and then it left from me. It also, in a way, is showing your own lack of confidence. Oh yeah, that's right. There's also, I have certain expectations for a sequel to Titan Quest because of I've put hundreds of hours into it. Here, let me actually look. So I got Steam open over here. According to it, I have 333 hours. Last played February 8th. As I said, it has been a while. I don't know why Steam is going very slow on the desktop. Yeah. No signs of any issues, but anyhow. Yeah, so over 300 hours in there, and there are people that have hundreds more, crossing 1,000 hours. I can't speak for them, but certainly for myself, I want a Titan Quest 2 game. I don't want just another action RPG set in Greco-Roman mythology that... I mean, okay, I shouldn't say it like that. I don't want just another of those for Titan Quest 2. I want Titan Quest 2. You can make another one of those that's in a similar setting. That's fine, go ahead and do that. That doesn't mean it's Titan Quest 2. So that statement, it does concern me. We'll see. I fully intend to buy the game regardless, unless... I'm just thinking, unless it is like, no, it is clearly this is what they're doing, then I would hesitate and maybe wait a bit. I don't know. But it is, right now my plan is day one, buy it, start playing it, and start putting feedback, which it's some of that feedback would be, look, I want to play Titan Quest 2, I don't want to play Path of Exile 3, I don't want to play Path of Exile, Greece, Ancient Sparta. I'm not interested in that game. If I want that game, I'd be playing Path of Exile. I'm not playing Path of Exile. I play Titan Quest 2 when I want to scratch this itch. So give me Titan Quest 2, so now that scratches the itch. Okay, I mean, it's like that's also part of it, is why you don't want to attach yourself to other IPs if you're not sincerely doing that sequel, because you're not sincerely working in that universe, because now people that can have expectations that you're not going to fulfill, because that's not your purpose. And so, and I'm not saying that like it, no, it is a bad thing. I'm not saying like you can't give us something that would scratch the itches. I'm just saying that if you start attaching to something else, like with fan fiction, you may then disenchant people because like you're not scratching the itch that they're looking for. Like the original work satisfy them in certain ways. If you're interested in not satisfying in those ways, somebody has some interest, they're going to be turned off, and that why waste their time doing that? And they may then end up having other problems with it. Maybe they lose interest in the original, or maybe they lose interest in any work you may do. And if you have other work, that's very good. So yeah, that's why I got an idea for fanfic, for a story. Tell it yourself. Don't make it somebody else's. Don't make it fan fiction. At least if you want to publish it. Something internal, something just for your friends, have at it. Because then that's like, you can just practice however you want. But yeah, this is only 43 seconds in. I'm already at 10 minutes. It's a 3-minute video. This would happen. But it is, we'll see. And it's also, I mean, he's got plenty more time to say other things that may boost my confidence, but it is that statement. Respect the IPs you got. Make new IPs if you're not going to respect them. I don't know what he's making me hesitant, so we'll see.
In Titan Quest 2, you'll be playing as a...
Okay, right here's one of the things, by the way, that, it's not what he's saying, but just this UI, this is one of the things I mean by, if I want to play Path of Exile, I'll play Path of Exile. If I want to play Diablo, I'll play Diablo. This is not a Titan Quest 2 UI. Okay, I mean, yeah, the mini-map is, but look at the orb here. That's not how Titan Quest does mana or health over further. They're just horizontal bars. So they're just, yeah. Here, it's a little weird because the screen is here, the camera's over here. Just a flat bar, and you know what? That's actually easier to read because 1% move in that is a 1% move. Whereas with an orb like this, 1% up the top, like 1% linear distance up the top, is a smaller change than 1% linear distance in the center. And it's also, look at how much space on the screen you are not seeing. Right? Now, if you can turn the camera around, that's not a problem. That's not the case. It's like, that is one thing that even in Titan Quest, it annoys me. Like, I will actually zoom out, because typically when you start this, like, one step backing, I'll go out, because I want to see as much of the screen as possible. But because you're basically always at that angle, you're never, like, straight down, you're always at this angle, that UI does block more of the screen than not, because then if it was somewhere else, because up top it's like it's the whole anisotropic stuff where it's like down here it's a shorter distance on the ground between the base of the screen and where your character is, which is the center, versus the center to the top, just because of the angles that you're at. So you're putting this huge thing in a spot that you already have less view. No, make it smaller. All right, have it be the flat bar. And if it's an option, by the way, if there's an option for the classic Titan Quest UI, I'll be happy then. I'm not saying that they need to not have this. I'm saying this is in Titan Quest UI, and this is supposed to be Titan Quest 2. Give me the Titan Quest UI. That shouldn't be that complex. And there's other things about this, I think, that... yeah, I mean, for one thing, it's... We only have 8 abilities, whereas in Titan Quest it's 10. So here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the QWER, so I get the whole, okay, so you're not having to go here over here, but even then that's not a problem, because in Titan Quest, I'll just put the abilities where it's like I turn those on, they just stay on all the time over on the side, or like summoning pets over on the side, because I'm not going to be hitting those too often. The ones I will hit are up top. But there's also one thing in Titan Quest that this does not appear to have. Oh wait, yes, no, this does not appear to have. Actually, no, maybe that's what D and F are. Yeah, that's actually okay. The UI is answering that question. E and R, sorry, yeah, D and F, E and R in Titan Quest. E, we use a health potion. You have different levels of health potion. It can be a little wonky which one it's picking. It typically goes like in a certain order, like the upper left in your inventory. But so you can, if you put certain ones there, then it'll go to those first, something like that. And also energy, that's on R. So E and R, you hit those, and it'll just quick you using. It looks like here it's D and F. So that's good that we do still have that. But it's still, this is 8 total abilities. Well, 8 abilities that aren't just space and the mouse, which is also interesting. We're only seeing 2 there, which in Titan Quest, there is a left and right mouse button action. True, we don't use space in that except to pause, so I guess that's not too big a deal, but it still is. See, now I'm just thinking, one thing that I do wish that some of these games had was essentially if you had directional movement control separate from attack. And in theory, that could be here, where it could be like, hey, move to this part of the screen, but you're holding down an attack button. So if it's like you're pulling up bows and arrows, you're still shooting that direction, even though you're moving that way. So that could be a nice thing. That maybe by having LMB, I'm assuming dedicated to movement, but I don't know. That's a you have to start playing, but it still is we got 2 fewer ability slots than in the original game. No indication that you can go to a different bar, which that's another thing in Titan Quest. You have 2 that you can cycle between, and that will actually also change your right mouse button, your left and right mouse button attachments. The E and R for the potions, that doesn't change. I can also go off about how I don't like the change to the potions, where it's not inventory items, but just a specific thing with charges. We'll see if that comes up. That's a long enough rant as it is. I don't need to do it.
Rather unknown hero character. You're not really a hero yet. You're honestly just training to be a capable fighter.
That's how Titan Quest 1 starts. You literally wash up on the side of a beach, and then you go and help a town. And it's like, you are a schmuck until you, like, defeat Typhon. Then the gods are like, oh, wow, I guess the Age of Heroes isn't done yet, kind of thing. I mean, isn't that how Path of Exile also is? You just wash up? Well, no, you're a convict. Everyone there was a convict. What is it in Diablo? I think you are actual adventurers in Diablo, and you just come there and actually succeed, whereas others have failed. I think that's... It's been a while since Diablo. I think Torchlight is the same gimmick.
You have a master called Aristano. She's from Sparta and used to be a priestess of Nemesis, as you'll find out later. You will build up your own worth over time as you prove yourself in front of the gods. From Sparta and used to be a priestess of Nemesis, as you'll find out later. You will build up your own...
And yes, okay. By the way, Period lets you do a frame forward in YouTube. So that's how I'm doing this. It's actually interesting because okay, it wasn't looking like we were having actual 60 FPS here. I'm just trying to... We get a thing on top of the health over there. If I remember correctly in Path of Exile 2, that's how it shows a shield that depends on the health, the vial you have equipped. I don't remember what it's called. It's been years since I touched Path of Exile. My issue with Path of Exile, this game I don't think will be like that. I don't think Titan Quest 2 is going to be like that. I hope not. It's the constant season changing I didn't really care for, because like it wasn't a game I wanted to dedicate so much time to be able to finish a season before a season. I just wanted to play it when I could play it, when I had time to. Also felt very much you have to play it with friends, and my schedules didn't always line with what friends I had, and today I don't really have friends that play video games, so hopefully we don't have that, but it still is, yeah, I'm just wondering, because it seems tied to the ability here, not an item, which I don't like the whole files with charges and that's it. I'm fine with the health potions just in slots in your inventory, because there's plenty of inventory. Management isn't that big a deal. And there are ways to do things better, like having the pets in Torchlight that'll take your stuff back to sell or go and buy stuff for you. It's like, there are other solutions. It was like, oh, but inventory management, already part of the game, easy enough to deal with. Don't use that as an excuse. That's a bad excuse. But as far as like having shields be based on that vial, there's other equipment you could base on as well. There could just be armor that has that. So it's again I don't like this move, because that's not how Titan Quest 1 works. There are definite benefits to Titan Quest 1's design. There are benefits as well to the other design, but I do feel that it's Titan Quest 2, it's not Path of Exile. So, and by the way, one other thing for a reason why is you get charges back by attacking enemies, which means then when you need... Yeah, you're getting the rant anyway, sorry. When you need those health charges because you're low on health, you have to put yourself in danger to get them. Whereas in Titan Quest 1, you just use a health pot. You just make sure you have some in your inventory. There is a cooldown on them, so you can't just go spam through all of them very rapidly. That's fine. But still, you can do that, and so if you need to back out, you can do that. It's not a backed out, oh crap, I need to go back in if I want to live. It's like, that's nonsense. And if anyone says that, oh, well, that's, to keep you more active in the game, it's like, no, it's not, because somebody who tries to play more conservatively, who is trying to not die, you're now encouraging them to actually stay out of the fight, or at least be very much go in, then get back out, go and get back out, go and get back out. Because that's how their playstyle would adapt to, because they don't want to constantly be dying. They don't want to constantly be risking going to low health. Like, they may be at half health and be like, oh, wait, you know what? I'm going to back out because I'm not sure I can manage it at this point. And then what do they do for healing back if they don't have any charges left? They may have to just sit around and wait somewhere. They might have to leave to find somewhere else. I'm hoping that there's other places you can heal. Like, maybe just warp back to a town. And then when there, your health refills, and then you come back. How's that keep you in the action? It's not. Whereas if you just have 100 health potions because you picked up 100 health potions, then it's it goes down to half. I back out, pop that once the cooldown is up. Now I'm up to 3/4 or maybe to full. Now I can go back in. You're staying in the action. So it's like this design doesn't necessarily encourage you to stay in the action, because if you are concerned, if you are conservative, it encourages you to leave so that the situation so that you can improve that situation that way. So, yeah.
Over time, as you preview.
Okay, that was definitely a shield, by the way, because here, if we come back, you can see how it has moved down. But I'm guessing it's tied to the ability. And did we get... It looked like there was also... I'm completely ignoring the effects on the screen. Yes, so there is an icon that also appears. Oh, wait, no, because that's only... I don't know why that shield appeared. It may still be tied to the ability, but the icon, the status icon, showed up after.
Called Aristano. She's from Sparta and used to be a priestess of Nemesis, as you'll find out later. You will build...
Yeah, so you see, we've got the one that says 5.
Your own worth over...
The shield comes up, but we don't have the other icon. Now we have the icon, but that's after he smashes. So it looks like there was one ability that gave the shield, and then another ability that gives this icon.
Prove yourself in front of the gods. Gameplay-wise, Titan Quest II is very much a classic ARPG, but we've got our own twists in there with, like...
You see the shield draining here, and I wonder why. If that suggests the shield is passively draining off, which... Between that and a timeout, I prefer this, because this gives you way more information. Whereas if it's like counting down, and it's like full shield, but then it's just counting down, it's like, and then it's suddenly just gone. And it's, if you're looking at the timer, it's like, okay, but this, I think, is a better, clearer visual representation of that, so I do like that.
The mastery system.
I don't hate everything.
For example, where you merge 2 masteries into one, very much a classic ARPG. But we've got our own twists in there with, like, the mastery system, for example, where you merge 2 masteries into one.
Titan Quest is a classic, and this is it depends on what you consider merging, but you would have 2 masteries that in some way or another you find ways to synergize. Like, you select 2 masteries, and now you can have the abilities from both. That doesn't necessarily spawn a new class of abilities. If that's the case, then yes, it would be new, but that's not that impressive. I'm saying the main thing about having 2 masteries, that goes back to the original game. So, and getting synergies out, if you get synergistic abilities that are only the result of that merging, okay, fine, that might be new, but at the same time, it's like it's like a small step forward from where we were when the original came out.
Instead of just being given classes. So you have to find these little entanglements that you can have between the 2 masteries, these synergies.
Yeah, these synergies, as I was saying. It's also, no classes. It's like, yes, that's again how Titan Quest won. So, I'm good with the idea of reinventing the wheel, because, I mean, the wheel has been reinvented multiple times, but this is, it's just annoying me because it sounds like, hey, we reinvented this, hey, see this new thing, it's called the wheel, isn't that awesome? I mean, it's like, yeah, here's the problem, though, is that we already invented in Titan Quest 1. The game you're making a sequel to, why are you talking about, like, new ideas? I mean, maybe you're adding a little bit with the merging of them, depending on how merged they are, but it's still...
And make the best use of them possible.
And it's also because I'm just looking at the abilities here. We've got, I mean, it looks like Storm and Battle combined together. It's like those are the 2 masteries. Fine, great, whatever. But I'm not seeing anything there to suggest a hybridized ability. Just, you've got both. So it's just a synergies, which would just be Titan Quest 1.
From there, you can take your character in multiple directions. The mixed classes is something we support quite a lot.
Hang on just a second. It's here as well, but let me look at the other one.
From there, you can take your character in multiple directions. The mixed classes is something.
I'm trying to figure, is my cursor visible? No, it's not. The little reticule thing, is that, do you have a means of targeting? I want that. Especially if it is visual like that, and if it could float. Like, that's one thing, I wish I could remember exactly how. But Marvel Heroes, I loved their targeting system. It was so much better than so many other games. Because it could, like, if you clicked and it held, you would just continuously attack, but you didn't need to release and click again to select the next target. And some games, no, you always had to do that. It was very annoying, because you'd be attacking that enemy would die, and then you just start walking that direction. But an actual showing the reticule, I'd be good with that. And if it does float around a bit, like especially if it were you're doing that, and if your cursor's just generally, and you're interacting with it, it'll just snap to the next one. You don't necessarily need to move the cursor onto that. That I'd be good with. But obviously you would then need to make sure that whatever the zone is, where it's like, yes, you're targeting that, it's like, it's clear with that, so you can easily move out and then get moving in case you need to run away after an enemy was killed.
We support quite a lot, actually. But the core fantasies of just a tanky warrior, of course you're gonna have that. You can take your character in many directions, and choice is at the core of our game. Your abilities will be modifiable, so each of them has like these several modifier choices that you can equip into your skill. This is our little innovation in this space.
Very little. Well, I'm just trying to remember. Have I actually played one that? I'm sorry. That kind of modification to abilities. I want to say there's plenty of other games that do that. I don't know about an action RPG because it's been a while since I played a new one. Because I'm just thinking about gem slots, but those are typically on equipment, so they modify that and may grant abilities, but they don't. I'm not sure if they necessarily modify other abilities. Also, one thing I do want to mention: right mouse button is definitely attack. And you're seeing the icon change based on what the weapon is that you have equipped. Which is in some ways a little disappointing. Because in Titan Quest, you could set left mouse LMB or RMB to be whatever you wanted. And there were actually abilities that you would want to replace your basic attack with. I know that they do have some of those in this game. I'm trying to remember. I think it is they're just changing... They're modifying that ability. So when you unlock this ability, they're modifying the attack. Sorry, modify the attack. Just passively. It's not like you're selecting a different thing. Which, I get how that can be easier, but there's also, in theory, if you had both masteries, both had the ability to do this, instead of it stacking the modifications, or one excluding the other, you would just be able to select between them. So, yeah. I was just thinking, because some of them will make it where it builds up 3 charges and then it does a more powerful attack. I think Dream Mastery has that. It's Dream of Spirit, I think, one of the blue ones. But anyway, well, magical blue ones. Not just like the water or storm, whatever that is. But yeah, I mean, that I do kind of see more of a, yeah, we're replacing it versus just applying a modifier to it. But it would work with whatever the weapon is you're using. So it's just, the icon doesn't change in that case. Because it does, well, the icon doesn't change when you apply that. When you apply, whatever your, in Titan Quest 1, it doesn't matter what your weapon is, the attack icon is the same. That's what I was trying to say.
We are not...
Hang on a second.
This is our little innovation in this space.
Okay, so this does look like you're with somebody else. The upper left, that's you. I'm not seeing any clear indication. That might be an NPC, not another player. Although, hang on, we've got that reticule again. So that reticule is either your target, it could be just what's highlighted up at the top of the screen, or it could be saying, hey, this guy's gonna do a large attack. I'm hoping it's not that. I mean, it can be. It's just, I'd rather we're you're targeting, or it's just telling you, hey, that's the one I'm giving you the detailed information on. But then also I have it, I'm trying to remember, did you have floating? I'd rather have the option of floating health bars in that case for everything. Or are you hell, if you could control and be like, yeah, this level and above, this class of energy was like this mob, then brutes and such, captains, lieutenants, things like that. Where it's like brutes and above do that, mobs don't worry about it, I'll just kill them so quickly, I don't need to see their health. That I'd rather than just always like, hey, highlight one, put it up top. Okay, hang on. Oh, now we've got 2 on there. So yeah, I'm guessing that's not well, unless it's telling.
Into your skill. This is our little innovation in this space.
Yeah, so there's the one on that guy who's charging up. By the way, if you look up there, there's a shield forming on one of these enemies. I'm trying to figure out, because of the 2 reticules, they do look identical. So it's not like they have different meanings. Come on, give me. I'm trying to see when it appears. Okay, so it's fading in at this point. And then we saw that might be telling you, hey, an attack is coming. An attack is coming.
We are not going
because it disappears after that one attack, right? I'm pretty sure that's why I saw it happen. We're just gonna use the mouse. Yeah, it disappeared after that attack. And I'm assuming that it is the enemy that did that attack, so it's not like it just died. Oops. Yeah, no, that enemy did not. I don't know what that reticule is. It might be a warning, which... Don't need it. I'd rather it be player information than enemy information.
Not going to be doing any microtransactions in this game because we don't believe in that form of monetization in general. We will be doing traditional DLCs, however, so after the 1.0 launch.
Okay. One thing that I'm seeing here, I'm glad about. I'm assuming I'm interpreting correctly, though. On the energy ball, there we go, orb, how there's like some of it that's slid down. That is something that we do, not quite like that, but is in Titan Quest 1, where the energy bar will be brought in some, because you can have abilities that are just on all the time, so they're constantly using a certain amount, so it's reserved. I'm assuming that's what's going on here, not something else. It makes sense. I'm glad that that's the case, because it makes a lot of sense.
We'll be putting out larger DLC packs, which will include additional chapters, so more content in general, bosses, creatures, areas, and masteries, of course. So Titan Quest 2 will be coming to Steam Early Access very soon. You can wishlist it now already. And we're looking for a summer timeline for this, and then later, the other platforms.
That got loud. Is there anything after? Nope. Okay. Non-inspiring to me. A lot of that... I mean, to be fair, it might also have been a, hey, we're going to make this video, but make it not for people that know Titan Quest 1. So showing, talking about things, it's like, yes, someone who knows Titan Quest 1 is like, that's in the base game, what are you talking about? That's in the original game, what are you talking about? But for someone that doesn't know it, that isn't familiar with it, it's like, okay, maybe that's the explanation. I hope so. Because otherwise, if that was fully sincere, including to those of us that know the game, it's like, you're showing me things, you're telling me things, that's like, hey, get excited about this. It's like, why? That's what's in Titan Quest 1. And also the whole, how he said, it's like, hey, we can, this setting, people really like this setting, so we'll try to do something in that setting. Hey, we got access to this IP, let's just use that IP. It's... I mean, that would be like, I'm just... I got Alien sitting here, like saying, hey, I got this great idea for Alien, let's do that, but set in the Star Trek universe. It's like, because Star Trek is so popular, and space stuff is so popular, let's do that. It's like, no, make your own. And they did. Alien is its own universe and is quite different. It also allows you to do so much more. You're not limited by what was there. Like, I mean, technically, there's going to have to be an explanation for how Nemesis is even present, because unless this is prior to the events of Titan Quest 1. Because in Titan Quest 1, an aspect of it is the connection to the gods has been lost. And in fact, as I said, you defeat Typhon, and what ends up happening from that is Zeus basically says, I guess it's not so bad that we're not going to be still have a connection to humanity anymore, because you guys, there are still heroes here that can keep you safe, so you don't need us so much anymore. Now, granted, Titan Quest 1, The Eternal Throne, then takes you to Hades, because Hades is still around, and he's acting up, but in that case, though, it was something of he just refused to go into that night, while the other gods have. So that's more like, a remnant there. So I guess they might try to work off of that, but I feel it's a little different. And I'm trying to remember, did they also try to say there was like Hades behind the events of Titan Quest 1? That might have also been the case. I don't remember. Then we got Ragnarok, but that's a different mythology, so it's like, well, we got Norse gods, but they still have their connection because they're Norse, not Greek. I don't quite remember all that, but it is... I think also they changed the ending for Titan Quest 1 with Immortal Throne to leave open the door, but we'll just see how it goes. Because I'm not sure how much Nemesis should be allowed to be around anymore because of the events of Titan Quest 1, but we'll see. I mean, that was my original thought, but then it's like, oh wait, I'm thinking of all these ways that it's actually not the case, that they did already have ways around it, but yeah, I'm not feeling good about it. I'm not. Hopefully it is, as I said, just, hey, we want people who don't necessarily know it that well. I'm just looking at the comments, because I have it open in different browser, outside of OBS. A lot of it I'm seeing. Yeah, well, the first game was amazing, played since launch, so my expectations are high for this one. That's kind of my concern, is I'm not seeing... Oh my god. Looks great, can't wait. There's another thing. The 2 masteries is like Grim Dawn. It's a cool system. I'd have to check, but I think Grim Dawn actually came from developers... like, that studio is formed from developers of the original Titan Quest 1. And it is, again, Titan Quest 1 had 2 masteries, so it's like... That does... I'm very confident Grim Dawn does post-date Titan Quest, so they got it from Titan Quest. And Titan Quest may have gotten it from something else as well. Yeah, and I'm seeing one here. Dodges, no ragdoll physics, no system where the enemies have the gear they drop equipped on them. Yeah, this isn't Titan Quest. It's just an RPG themed in Greece. That's my concern, but to be fair, ragdoll physics and enemies dropping gear, that can come later. Okay, I'm okay with that not being at launch. I do agree that should come, because as anything, because it is, you'll see the enemies walking around in gear and carrying weapons that when they die they drop them. Very often it is broken, so it's not that good, but they do still drop it. Dodges I'm okay with being in there. It depends on how it works. Like in Marvel Heroes, you had dodges. Every hero had a dodge, and very often they were quite varied to fit what the character was. And then they also gave him travel abilities, where if you just held that same button down, you'd start running, and that was neat. So like Star-Lord would have this whole like action thing going forward to dodge around. But if you press and held, then he would activate his boot thrusters, his boot rockets, and just go up above and fly around. It's really neat. I'm okay with it unless it is guess what? You're now playing a Dark Souls game where you need to dodge to survive. It's like, if that's the case, no, I would not be happy. But if it's just dodging for repositioning in general, then I'm good with that. Maybe this makes me more of a hack and slash than a Souls-like person, but to me, it's like, I don't want to dodge to avoid an attack. I just want to manage my own position, which that might be I'm just walking around. Might be that I use a dodge to just move back and completely reposition myself, but not a, oh, it's coming in now, gotta dodge at precisely this moment. Because also an aspect of that is I hate it in games where it's like you dodge, but you dodge too early. So even though huge, heavy hammer swing up the attack to go like this, whoop, nope, right there. Not how that works. Yeah. Anyway, I'll stop going through there, but it is. I do just have this concern that, and looking in the comments, it does seem that some are also reflecting that same concern. The whole, this isn't looking like Titan Quest 2, it's looking like any other game. Hopefully I'm wrong. What he said there concerns me about that as well, but we'll see. A lot can change in early access. That is the nature of early access, but a lot of those comments were just people being all excited because, oh, new game kind of thing, which, I mean, I can't fault somebody for that, but yeah, I guess it is kind of like that. There's people who just enjoy stuff, and then there's people who take it seriously. Not to say that we don't enjoy it then. Like, to use Star Trek as an example. I love Star Trek. I can debate things about Star Trek with people. Okay, where it's like other people will enjoy it and be fans. They're still fans, but it's like, yeah, they just enjoy it. But they're not going to get into the nuance or the minutia of how, like, why the Kobayashi Maru matters in this way and not that way. They think, oh, it's just, but it's like, I'm just grabbing a random thing. But here, let me give you an example. A better example. Star Trek 6 is I can take these off, by the way. Star Trek 6 is my favorite Star Trek movie, right? And one thing that occurred to me that I'm going to read through the novelization at some point, and I'm very curious to see, is was Kirk selected because to initially be the to be the escort for Kronos 1? I'm blanking on the Chancellor's name, the Klingon High Chancellor's name, Gorkon. Could he in part have been selected because they figured if Kronos 1 then decided, hey, you attacked us, we have to destroy you now, would he decide to fight it out? I could believe that they predicted that, but instead he surrenders. And that you wouldn't be able to put in the movie, but I could maybe in the novelization it might be like, oh, they expected it to be different, so now they're having to scramble to adapt the plan to him staying alive. Because if they destroyed the Enterprise, then they destroyed any witnesses that they could much more easily argue, yes, you did attack us, and then provoke, and then the whole war has been provoked. But his possibly out of character behavior there is what made it possible to figure out there is a conspiracy and all that. And it's like, that's something that is more nuanced, is getting more into the details of Star Trek, that if you're just somebody who enjoys watching the films, which is still fine, you're still a fan, but if you're not able to even have that debate, you're not even like thinking, wait, would he fight it out? Would he not? If you're not having that debate, that's a different kind of fan. Still a fan, don't get me wrong, but it is just, it's Titan Quest 2, so there are just that one type of fan where it's like, if it's a fun game, they'll enjoy it. It doesn't matter that to those of us that are more serious, that's like, well, no, this is a fine game, yeah, but it's not Titan Quest 2, it should have a different name. Right? I mean, it's like that's... It is possible to satisfy all of us, though. My concern is that they might be approaching it purely for this fan that's less into the details, let's say, less technical. And then those of us who are technical, we're just going to be annoyed by it. And it's like, well, we don't want to feel that it's a waste of our money if we buy this game. It's like, it's not Titan Quest 2. Or even like go in and just rename it. I can't even do that in Steam. Like, just go and rename the label. Like, Greek RPG. Yeah, Greek RPG A, Greek RPG B. Oh, man. I had a feeling I would hit about 45 minutes. It's like, it's 3 minutes of content. 15 times longer. No, not 15 times. Wait, yeah. Oy vey, yeah. I'm technical. This is what happens. Oh, man. All right. Hopefully it's good. We shall see. We shall see as we get more information out and when it goes live. And I know I will try to be a voice in like the Steam forum saying, no, you should do this because this is how Titan Quest 1 works. And if people are like, and I will, if people are like, well, it's fine this way. It's like, no. If I wanted it this way, I'd play a different game. Because there are other games that have, like, the orbs there that do the shit. I'd just play Path of Exile if I wanted that gameplay. That's not the gameplay I want. I want Titan Quest gameplay, just improved upon making Titan Quest 2. And that's... I would dig my heels in, but it's like anyone arguing about it, it's like... They would be like, oh, but why can't they just update? It's like, that's not an update, that's a change. Well, that's a replacement, I should say. That's not an upgrade, that's a replacement. And if I want that replacement, I already have somewhere to go. All right? Titan Quest is already distinct from those others. Maintain that distinction. I will be digging my heels in if I need to be and doing that on the forums there, and it'll be interesting. Because I'll bet I would not be alone, but I would also believe that it wouldn't matter. That most people would just be like, yeah, whatever. And that the developers even seeing some that might be that's too few people. But who knows? It could also be if my concerns end up being realized. Might be there is actually this vocal contingent that are being specific about how, yes, this is not Titan Quest 2. We may have screwed up. Those are because it's also we're the ones that would be saying to other people, like if they're asking, hey, you really like Titan Quest, is Titan Quest 2 all that good? I mean, the gameplay is fine, but it's not a Titan Quest game. I mean, it's more like this game. It's more like Path of Exile, more like Diablo. It's like, oh, how much do those cost? I mean, it's like you potentially have us being gatekeepers than saying, yeah, it's not worth it. And it's like, no, we're the ones that you want us saying, hey, yes, come play this. It's a different experience than the other stuff. It's really, really good. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. See you then.